Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to be going over the PowerPoints for week 3. You had to read chapter 3, Managing Your Time, Energy, and Money. So this week for Wednesday, you had to complete your weekly check-in, complete a time management self-assessment worksheet, and then our Zoom meeting. And then for Sunday, you had to read chapter 3. There's these videos, PowerPoints to watch. There's a TED Talk I'll mention in the PowerPoint, and then a fun simulator game that you can try out. So there's two PowerPoints for this. We're going to go over managing your time and energy first. Quick announcement. Remind yourselves, student office hour assignment. It's in week 4 folder. It is due Sunday, February 28th. So if you haven't contacted your professors yet to meet with them, to ask them a question, make sure you do that. And then don't forget, you've got your goals paper coming up in the week 6 folder. That is due Wednesday before you go on spring break. But if you need a couple of extra days extension and turn it in on that Friday of that week, I have no problem with that. So make sure you're kind of working and planning that kind of stuff out. That's what managing your time is all about. So college is a new experience. We read in chapter 1 that college is not like high school. And in chapter 3, they talked about making sure that you're responsible for practicing civility. So that means attending class all the time and making sure you are on time. In previous classes, I've had students who they didn't feel that being on time was important. But it is, because if you're someone who's always late, it's better to practice trying to be on time in college, because you're going to need that skill when you get into your career. Make sure you purchase your books and supplies for your courses. You complete your assignments on time. One of the reasons why we have you do the student office hours assignment is to break the ice with your instructors, so that you can have at least, that one moment where you've talked to your instructor, kind of got to know them a little bit, so that when the time comes when you might need an extension on a deadline for an assignment, you will hopefully feel more comfortable doing that. Conducting yourself respectfully and training others respectfully in and out of the classroom, that's very important. Asking questions when you don't understand or need further assistance. And then definitely knowing your rights and responsibilities as a college student. So there's a link to a TED Talk on Cobra in the Sunday folder for week 3. Go ahead and pause this video and go watch that. It is called Inside the Mind of a Master Procrastinator. And so when we think about trying to manage our time, our energy, our budgets, the biggest roadblock is we can be really good procrastinators. And I've done it myself. So go watch the video. It'll talk about, what a procrastinator is like. Maybe you have that sometimes happen for certain assignments or certain things you have to do in life. You procrastinate and put it off, what it means, things like that. And then there is a short response that you need to do in the Dropbox, and it's just like a weekly check-in thing where it has a couple questions. You just type in your answer, so you don't have to submit that. So go watch that real quick and then come back to this video. All right, so after watching that TED Talk, thinking of time management, what resonated the most with you from that video? How does that, what they talked about with procrastination, connect to time management? How can you stay away from that instant gratification monkey that we all have? How can you manage your time for those items that have no true deadline? And why manage your time? How will managing your time help you be successful in college? So there's a lot of reasons why it's important, but some how-tos with time management. You want to refer to your college academic calendar, and you can do that. Let's go on to a page here. Parkland.edu. All right, so this is our Parkland website. Up here in the green, you're going to search for academic calendar. As you can see, I do that myself. It's the first link here. All right, and so right now they only have spring semester up, but later we'll have summer and fall. But here they have your academic calendar. This has registration dates, withdrawal dates, holidays, things like that. You've got your drop and withdrawal dates, your final exams, your graduation info, registration dates, and then tuition and final aid dates. All right, so all of this is really important. So the things that you definitely need to know, make sure you put into your calendar. And so that way, if you need to be reminded about certain things, you can do that. And so you also want to make sure you add in your deadlines for your specific assignments, your papers, your exams for each of your classes. And remember, you want to set your priorities. Grades do matter on a college transcript because down the road, when you apply for a job, employers do ask for transcripts. Okay, they will look at those grades. So that's really important. When I applied for my job here at Parkland to teach, they needed a transcript from my college. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Um, and then also make sure add in your personal dates, so doctor's appointments, vacation, work, stuff with your kids, things like that. So this is all trying to prioritize the most important information that you need in your daily calendar. So on the supplies list for this course that you needed to get, I had asked you to get some kind of planner. So it could be a paper planner. You could do a monthly plan like this picture here is, or you could just look at a week, or you could even do a day. So that's entirely up to you how you want to stay organized, depending on, do you have a really busy day that you have to schedule out every hour, or maybe it's just a weekly thing that you need, or maybe you just want to look at it in a monthly thing. It's up to you if you want a paper calendar or maybe a virtual electronic one. I'm more of a paper person, but sometimes other people like the electronic version. Now this is more electronic, where you do it online and you have all these colored coordinated things, and you can do that with pins and stickers and stuff like that with a paper planner, but it's entirely up to you. And I will say I'm 38 years old and I'm still trying to find my perfect planner as I go through each year. I used to have a planner that had a page that had a box, like a rectangle box for each day. So this would be Monday, this would be Tuesday, Wednesday. And I realized I don't like that. So instead, I now use a planner that instead of going horizontal, they go vertical. So this would be Monday, this would be Tuesday, this would be Wednesday, and I like it a lot better. So it's about finding what works for you, how best you're going to use it, okay? So if you haven't already, make sure you get some kind of paper calendar. You can actually make these kind of calendars on your computer. You can even Google calendar templates, and you can find them that way too. Or you can use your Outlook calendar, your Google calendar, your calendar on your phone, whatever you want to do. So besides managing our time, let's talk about energy a little bit, because it's great to say, hey, we've got all this stuff to do, but we so have to have the energy to do it. So you want to learn to manage your energy so you have more control over your life. And that's what it really means. So as a college student, you can make sure that you kind of try to carry healthy snacks with you, drink plenty of water. You want to take, maybe brief naps. I know in the Zoom meeting for week 2, I think Tiffany and someone else, maybe it was Danielle, who had mentioned that they take naps to relax. They sleep. And so those are kind of things that you can kind of check in with yourself for a little self-care. You want to figure out where your daily energy is and then plan your study time if it's possible. Okay, this is the busiest time in your guys' life. You've got kids, you've got work, you've got multiple classes. It's not going to be Peter perfect for you. So my daily energy, I find that mornings, even though I'm not a morning person, but when I first wake up, that tends to be, once I have my coffee, that tends to be the best time for me to grade, especially since I'm an English teacher and I have essays to grade. Those take a lot of time and energy to do. So I find grading the first thing easier for me to do, and I try to schedule it then. Also make sure you do schedule some downtime if you can. Some primary sources for stress for college student is, what is a realistic workload for you? It's going to be different for each of you. Take on only what you can handle and learn to say no. All right, some of us might get in the habit of we always say yes to stuff, but understand that it's okay to say no, because this is the busiest time of your life. And then when you're feeling stressed, reassess your time commitments and don't feel bad about if you have to let certain things go. All right, make sure that you prioritize your schoolwork, your kids, those kind of things first. And so this week for Wednesday, you had to complete the time management self-assessment worksheet. So think about, go back and look at your worksheet. How does your score compare to the average percentile? What did you learn from the self-assessment, and how can you continue to improve your time management skills? That's always something, and we're always trying to achieve, and every week it could be different. Every semester it could be different. Um, and so it's not always going to be the same thing. And so that's why sometimes it can be challenging, especially if you have a job where they change your hours on you, or maybe you lose your job and you have to find another one that works with your school schedule. That can be challenging as well. And then you've got all the stuff for kids. You've got like Danielle said she has, a son who's in basketball. So there's all of those commitments that, they're your son's commitments, but you, the parent, have to make sure that they get there and get everything done. And so there's a lot of change up. So when you have a physical calendar that you can look at, it's going to help you see what important things you have and how you can reschedule things. So you may be a person who already has a calendar, you already use it. But maybe you haven't before. So this is a great time to start using it. Maybe change it up a little bit and see how it works for you. So for week 4, for our Zoom class number 4, this is on Wednesday, February 24th. For that class, what I want you to do is take whatever calendar you've decided to get, what planner you want, paper or electronic, and plan out 1 week. Okay? You can do, week 4 if you want. Plan out what that week looks like. Put all your priorities and commitments on it and see how it goes. And then bring it to class on Wednesday. And, if we can kind of show them in the video what each is like, what worked for you, what doesn't work for you, considerations, things like that. And let's see how that works. Let's talk about scheduling our time. So we have one more PowerPoint to look over, and it is for budgeting. And so I will go over that in video number 2 for week number 3.